Hey everybody, this is Andrew with Percolating Brews. I'm at Cafe Grumpy. I'm here with Caroline Bell, co-founder and co-owner. So excited to be here today.
Everything adds up. So in the beginning we had like piles of papers everywhere, weren't super organized, and getting like overdraft fees everywhere, like just not staying on top of stuff. So just any little thing that you can save on really adds up. But in that, also saying that if you're gonna purchase some piece of equipment or something, like make sure it's good quality so you don't have to buy it again. Like don't waste money on like cheap.
Trying to just get by.
Yeah. So and then also we did a lot of things ourselves that as we went along and grew the business, we kind of started outsourcing. Like we would wash all of our bar rags, and like it was, so then we got a company to deliver towels and take them away. So the little things, like they all add up to your time and just expense. And in the end, sometimes it's easier to outsource some things and get support that way.
Thinking about scaling it now, and now that you have kind of the foundation of Cafe Grumpy, like hiring when you're expanding, what are some of the things that you're looking for? You have this great coffee foundation and line, and then you, at least from what I've seen, kind of grew into the cold brew and production and bottling.
Right.
So scaling the product, but also like growing the number of cafes that you have and businesses. Like, was that also just part of trial and error, or did you kind of know that you wanted to do one like step at a time?
Well, I guess since we're still independently owned and we don't have any outside investors, so a little bit was sort of what can we do with these limits that we have financially. We obviously we think about it all the time, so we have all these ideas, all these things we want to do, but we had to grow pretty slowly. May not seem that way. I mean, we've been in business since 2005, so 12 years. We have 8 stores, one soon to open in Miami. We have the roasting that we started in 2009, and then we have, like you mentioned, the cold brew business. So yeah, I think just naturally wanted to be able to give coffee to more people, like just thinking about different ideas, wanting to be in different neighborhoods. Also, when you have one store, you don't really have perspective. So as you grow, even though it's a lot more work, you kind of get better perspective. So now I'm not walking, well, I do walk into the stores and like notice if there's like a straw wrapper on the floor or something, but I'm not gonna obsess over it. The first year I was like, everything was driving me crazy if like there was something to patch up, or now there's so much going on, you try to think of a little bit bigger picture. So I think it helps in that way. And then, and then we also have our online store and things like that. And with coffee, I think diversifying is good because, like we talked about earlier, there are so many coffee shops. So it's good to have, with the cold brew, we can reach more people, and not just in the retail sense. So just thinking of different ways to get your coffee out there and your brand out there.
Right, reach more people just through the distribution of it and just seasonality too, right? So is that something that's being produced like all year long? Yeah,
we produce it all year long, but obviously it's like more popular during the summer, I think. But in general, cold brew and iced coffee is like the number one beverage that we sell for some strange reason. But
that's a trend I think that I see as across all cafe shops and that I've spoken with and spoken to. It's super fun, and just what you see people walking around the street with too. So I think it's really interesting. I've read a lot about successful entrepreneurs having morning routines. They're waking up super early, starting the day at 4 or 5 in the morning. Do you have a normal routine that at least helps you get motivated and kind of focused through the day?
And I really like sleeping. But we have a dog, so pretty early, walk the dog. Just have a coffee at home, usually French press. Then go to the store, have another coffee, and like most people, check your phone, check your emails, check Twitter, Instagram. I don't like have any like exercise and meditation routines or anything like that. I do go to like they like to do powerlifting, so I go to classes a few times a week, so I'll usually do that in the morning. Yeah,
Keeps just your body physically active.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing for people starting a business. Also, you don't realize like how much of a physical toll it takes on you, just like mental stress and just being tired. And as getting older, you know, I'm a lot older now than everyone around me. Yeah, you have to be really careful about what you eat and like trying to get enough sleep. So I don't have a routine per se, but I do have something in my mind where I'll make sure I take my vitamins and like eat right, and you know, I'm not out drinking at night. And I think also with cafes, you never know what happens. Like this morning, we had a few incidents of something happened at one store. Maybe someone was late or something broke. So you never know what the day is going to hold really, and what you have to deal with. So you can't really be super prepared, because you could say I'm going to go running every morning, but then someone's going to text you that you know something's wrong. So
yeah, so you have to be really flexible and
yeah,
just open to.
It's still kind of hands-on. So.
But you have a partnership with Coney Island Brewery, and you're releasing some new kind of beverage.
So we've been working with Coney Island for a few years now. They use our Heartbreaker espresso beans in their Freaktoberfest beer, which is their like pumpkin ale that they have a limited release of every year in the fall. And then also they've been using for a special release called Super Freak our Rwanda coffee. It's a great collaboration and fun, and it's kind of their branding is like they take themselves seriously but not too seriously, which is our kind of we like that too.
So it was a really easy partnership to start off. How did that? Who approached you in that sense?
I believe they emailed us a while ago, and it was just we get a lot of random emails, and it was one that we answered in a timely manner, and we got together and it worked out. So.
Okay, cool. How many iterations of the recipe that you guys have to go through, if you remember?
Well, the first year we did it, we worked closely with them and like tasted different things. As the years have gone by, they kind of like know how they're going to brew it now, and they have a sense of how they're going to be working with the coffee more. So it's kind of like once we went through that first year of trial and error, they've kind of taken it on themselves. So the first year we tasted a bunch of different samples. This year, I think it was just like here it is, and it was like great. But we have gone out to their brewery in Coney Island a few times for different events. We're always kind of trying their beers, and we're just saying, we know those guys pretty well.
The difference of like New York coffee versus like coffee in New York. So like the dollar, coffee to go, the very kind of stable New York coffee, and how I guess both are kind of important to because of like either the economics of the whole situation, or
just the culture of the city.
The whole culture of the city versus like the specialty side. But
I feel like people maybe in New York can want to know that they're spending money at a place that's being responsible, and they also want to know where things are coming from. Like people are more interested these days in who grows their food and things like that. So in that sense, specialty coffee is good. The dollar coffee, coffee should be accessible to everybody, and I think the blue cup thing just is part of New York culture. It's like anything. People in New York, it's like the place where you see people all the time walking around with coffee. Like no other city is like that, where most people have a coffee cup in their hand. So I think it works together. I don't know.
I think so too. It seems to be very important for just I think just every day. People just have to have it. Just a cup of coffee to wake up and go, and it's just easy on the go. But
it's like a break. The city's it's like tiring and stressful, and sometimes it's also a wonderful place, but it's like a little treat for yourself.
Right.
It's like special time. That's also why I really like if I'm on the subway, like a brewed coffee, it's like so you can get through it slow, and like at the end it's like sweeter and.
Right. It's true. Any thoughts on advice for people starting out in coffee, either like baristas or just anybody who wants to kick off at a jumping point with a new cafe?
Well, for baristas, I feel like there's like a lot of opportunity to get ahead, because like for example, today we had a few interviews scheduled and a few people didn't show up. So just being a being on time, being
there you go.
responsible, coming with your resume, and taking it seriously because, you know, it's not, you know, the baristas it's a hard skill to learn well, and just the pressure of engaging with customers and remaining, you know, sometimes people are in a bad mood or things happen, so just remaining calm and positive while you're doing this job that it takes like physical skill and is like tiring. I think it's a hard job. I think people should take it seriously if they want to be a barista. And once you're a barista, I mean, I think they're in coffee now. It seems like there are a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential for growth and different careers. Our, you know, coffee bar roasters, trainer, they were all baristas first. So there's, you know, there's a lot of room to grow, especially as the industry is taking off. I just think it's a hard job being a good barista, and I think if you take it seriously and like keep learning, I think it's, you know, can be a good career.
So a big part of that is the education that is maybe offered. If somebody comes and says that I really am interested in the roasting aspect of it, you can, you know, as a barista starting out, they can just be pushed to go to the roastery.
I mean, people, there's opportunities to learn, and you know, we have education classes and things. I feel like if you want to eventually be a roaster, it's good to be a barista first, see what it's like, and kind of like work your way, you know, up and just get familiar with all different types of coffees and things like that, and sort of put in the time, so to speak, in a weird way, because, you know, sometimes we'll get people coming into an interview and they'll say, you know, I just want to be the roaster. A lot of people feel like that's the position they want. It's almost like this magical, like mysterious thing. So that you know, I feel like the people that are in those roasting positions have probably worked as baristas and worked their way up and learned a lot of things. And so, I don't know, just be professional and put in the time and keep at it. I'd like people that go to restaurants, coffee shops, any store to just think that there's a lot of work that goes into everything that people create. And I think that, you know, just stopping for a minute and thinking about that is good sometimes to remind people, because people are in a rush, or they, you know, are like fast to write a bad review of some restaurant they had dinner in, but maybe, you know, I just think just stopping and thinking about what it takes to create something, or create a space, or create a product, or, you know, anything, an experience. And just thinking about all the hard work that goes into anything. Even just, you know, getting the coffee here, how much the producers go through to produce the coffee, all the challenges they face with the climate, things like that, just how much work goes into like every cup of coffee or every meal.
And I think this is just part of the whole environment right now, is that just the awareness of how it's put together and the craft that it's being taken as.